Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video we'll be unpacking issues 11 and 15 of the Mortal Realms magazine, the SIGMARITE Mausoleum. Here we go, here's issue 11 and 15 of the Mortal Realms magazine, and in this video we'll unpack them, we'll go through all the contents, look through the magazine, and then I'll build the mausoleum pieces, and I think we should end up with half of the SIGMARITE Mausoleum terrain set from just these two packs. So for £7.99 each, that's great value. It's going to cost us just under £16, and then we get half of an awesome set and some great buildings to add to our Warcry terrain. I'll put links in the description below where I got these from, and I got them from Hatchet Partworks, and I get a subscription every month or every 4 weeks. You get sent 4 packs, so that's how that works. But you can also back order some issues of them, and I'll also put a link to forbiddenplanet.com where you can get back issues and often save a fair bit of money on even on the $7.99 as well. So well worth checking it out. You can get some great terrain pieces and some great models for your games there. But anyway, let's get started and let's get these unpacked and we'll have a look at the contents. Let's go with number 11 first, and we'll get this opened up. It's a little bit noisy, and we'll get rid of this wrapping. There we go. So in each issue you get the kind of magazine section, and then you get your sprues, and this is a great set of sprues for 1 week's worth of magazine, so really happy with this. And this is going to be the buildings for the SIGMARITE Mausoleum. So let's have a look through the magazine part first, then we'll just go over the sprues real quick, and then I'll get the next issue out and then we'll get them all built. So here we are, as we flick through, you can see in this issue we're going to learn about the storm hosts, 1,000 storms, forces of death, a battle of bone and ash, and then we're going to see how to build the mausoleum, and between Tomb and Terror there'll be a playthrough included. So these are great. These Mortal issue magazines are full of some unique artwork and lots of like background and lore behind the game, and the whole idea with this Mortal Realms subscription was to get you to collect 2 armies, the Stormcast Eternals and the Nighthorn, and then from those you could build 2 armies, and then included in here bit by bit each week are all the rules to play Age of Sigmar, the previous edition. So this is really great. I love all the artwork. I love finding out all the little snippets about different war bands and the different factions, and then you get the how to build, and these are great, always in kind of the colour as well, which I think is nice. So it tells you exactly how to put them together, taking you through it step by step. And then you can see here from this that in this issue you're going to get these 3 buildings and a little bit of the fence, and then in the next one, issue 15, when we unpack that, we'll get the statue and the walls and another bit of the gate and fence and things like that. So that'll do a nice little enclosure and perfect for a Warcry battle. And then we move on to Between Tomb and Terror, so we get a little battle layout, and this mat is also included in one of the previous issues, so you get that to unfold. It's only like thick paper, so nothing fancy, but still great just to play on and give you an idea of the size of the battlefield. And then we can use just the terrain from this issue in this little battle scenario. We get some new rules, we get the different war scrolls for the different fighters that we're going to play in this battle. And then it just walks you through it. Turn 1 for the Nighthaunt, turn 2 for each side, and then on the back there some more war scrolls. So this is really good. It's a great way to just start playing, and if you were interested in playing Age of Sigmar when this first came out, I think this would have been brilliant. But now really for me it's just getting the back issues to make the most of all these awesome terrain pieces and also some great models too. And then on the very back page it tells you what's going to come out in the next 2 issues. So there we go, that's issue 11 all taken care of. So now let's have a look at the sprues that came with it. Let's just have a quick look, because we're going to build it so you'll see it in detail when it's built. But these look great. I love all the little skeletons that are inside, all as you would expect from some kind of mausoleum, and all the different icons and emblems. The gate's fantastic with these like flowers and roses just working their way up the pillars. Really great detail in there. Looks quite fiddly, quite fine, so you'd have to be quite gentle with this, I think, quite careful. And then here's the other sprue. Same again, this fence is brilliant, really great. It's probably the best piece out of it for me. And then we've got some other little bits, some little crypts. And the little buildings. Look, I think this is going to be dead easy to put together. But there we go. So there's the 2 sprues real quick. So now let's take a look at issue 15. And let's get this wrapper off. Out of the way. And then same thing, we're going to get 2 sprues. And so we also get the bases here for those buildings we would have built from the previous issue. And so we'll just check those out in a little while. And then in this issue 15, let's see what we're going to get inside. So again, we're going to look at the storm host, continue to read about the many storm hosts that make up the armies of the Stormcast Eternals. Then we're going to go on to the Realm Gate Roars, have a little look at Flesh Eater Courts, the Court of the Cannibal King, and then how to put it together, how to build it and paint it, and then Charge of the Harrow. So yeah, here we go. So get some nice detailed artwork there, showing you some great paint schemes that you might want to paint your army with. So really nice. Again, really good artwork as you go through it. Nice little bit of narrative, and it's not really heavy either, so it's just enough drip feeding you really each week so that you build up your knowledge and get into it. And then we're going to learn about the Flesh Eater Courts, find out about this Court of the Cannibal King, and then it's going to tell us how to paint. So the previous one, I guess, would have told us how to build it all, but now we're going to look at how to paint it. And it looks like you're only going to have to use 4 paints, and these are all included as well with this subscription. So you get everything you need in that, and yeah, really easy. So it looks like it's going to do a base by brush rather than spray, then a dry brush of the Cantor Blue, a dry brush of the Corax White. So really nice and simple. I'll be going for like a different colour scheme, so I won't be using this. But if you wanted to do it dead easy like that, then you certainly could. I'm undecided yet on the colour. I might go for a green look, or I'm not sure yet, but yeah, we'll find out soon. And then we go on and we look at the Charge of the Harrow, and then again it's setting you up for battle. And now in this battle it's including this terrain plus the terrain from that issue we just looked at, and you could get more war scrolls. So you're building up your army now, you're getting extra fighters included as the issues progress. Then you get a nice reference sheet, and again it takes you through the turns, gives you a playthrough. So these are really handy, having these playthroughs. And then again on the back we'll find out what's coming in the next 2 issues. So there we are, that's the issue 15 books. Let's have a quick look at the sprues now. And here's our 2 sprues, and I think these bases are fantastic. You've got this little kind of coffin there with the skeleton with the sword and shield, and really nice work on the floor tiles. Skulls everywhere, really great. And I think I'll be doing the buildings. I'm going to have a look at putting the buildings together separate to the bases, so we can like take the buildings off and then get access to what's inside, because it'd be a real shame to glue everything down and never see all this. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's what we'll do. But that's the first one, really nice. Again, you've got the roses kind of weaved into this, really nice touch. Got a little crow there, so that's great. Nearly missed that guy. And then here we're going to get this statue. I was looking forward to seeing this little statue, and it's a decent size. That's pretty big, so that's really good. And again, all the skulls is awesome. This is a really nice piece. So this, I guess, is the main entrance, and then the curved walls are really nice. So I kind of wish I'd got 2 issues of each one now, but I only got 1, and then you could have had the full SIGMARITE Mausoleum. But this is going to be plenty, especially for Warcry. It's going to be perfect. But there we are. There's the sprues. So now I'll go away and I'll get these built. I'll build all the buildings and we'll put it together, and then we'll have a look at it on a board, and we'll also get some miniatures out and see how they compare. Just real quick before I do that, I'll just show you this little folder that comes with the subscription as well, and this is where you can keep all of the issues in the binder there. So this is really handy. So I'll just pop that open and then put the different issues in each week, and you build that up, and then that's your collection. But right, I'm going to go and get on with that building now. And here we go. Here are all the pieces built, and I've put them on the Warcry board, so just to give you an idea of size and how much coverage you can get just from these 2 editions of that Mortal Realms magazine. But I think this is quite enough for a Warcry board, and I'm really happy with this set. I think for £16 this was great value. But now let's take a look at each piece individually, and I'll put some models in there so you can compare the size to some of the miniatures you may be familiar with. And here's the gate. So let's start with the front gate, and this is all like glued to the base here, but I've just kept the actual gate itself off, and you can see that it would go into those little holes there. But I thought it might be quite cool to paint it and then leave it kind of hanging open a little bit, maybe like this, just to the side. I thought that might look a bit more interesting rather than having it like glued shut or just glued open regularly. And we've also got these little tombstones here, so I'm going to paint them separately and then they'll get glued on all along there in those different spots. So some great detail on this piece, and I think this is a really awesome piece to have at the front of the set for the entrance to the mausoleum. But here's one of the Grimwatch, just to give you an idea of size-wise of how this is going to look, and also one of the Corvus Cabal. So there we go, so that should give you a good idea of how big this is. And if we pop this guy in the doorway, he's looking awesome. He's going to have plenty of room there, and even on this bigger base for the Grimwatch, you can see that that base also fits as well. So there's the first piece, but I think this terrain is going to be great for Warcry. There's only one downside, is there's no real platform. So especially with the Corvus Cabal, where you want to make the most of that height and jump down, they're really going to struggle here. But some of the other ones, especially like the Nighthaunt, who can just fly over all this terrain, they're really going to come out strong, I think. But I'm looking at using the Grimwatch for the Rain in Hell game as well. And I think this terrain would be really good for that setup. And so I'm doing a little warband with the Grimwatch and some Poxwalkers, which you'll see as we look at some of the other terrain now. Next, we've got the fences, and these were the easiest to do. You literally just cut these off the sprue and they were formed in one piece. But I really like these fences. I think they look really great. And you can like position them like this, or you can have them at an angle like that. So you can really put them however you like. And you get lots of pieces as well. So you get those two long pieces, then you get these more like brick wall types. And again, you can just position them however you like or have them spaced out. So there's another one there. And then we've got the two smaller ones. And then this really interesting little curved piece. So if you did get two of each of these sets, you'd have like plenty of gates and fences for that board for sure. Two curved pieces here, and then you could literally enclose the whole mausoleum in that. And again, let's have a look at the size. Here's another one from the Grimwatch. So compared to the wall, let's move these little ones, which is going to be the highest piece. He's going to stand pretty much about the same height. And then if you look at the Heart Eater next to that, you can see there. And then we got one of the little Poxwalkers, a smaller model. So these can get lots of cover behind that wall. You could probably climb over it. I think with these spikes, we'd have some issues with dangerous terrain and things like that. But certainly that's one way to get over it, is to climb over. But again, no platform, so you're not going to be able to like stand on there. So for the Corvus Cabal, they're out of luck really with that tactic. But there we go, there's all the walls and fences. So now let's look at the little buildings. And here's our first piece, and this looks really great. I've left this off as well, so I haven't glued that down because I want to keep it almost so you could look inside it maybe. I think that'd be quite fun. Maybe put something in there for a different game if you're not playing Warcry or using it for something else. I think that could be a nice little feature. It's also going to help and make it really easy to paint. But some really nice detail on these. They're really nice little pieces. Good quality. The plastic doesn't feel cheap. And I'm really happy with how they went together. Dead simple. And you could glue this to the base, but I've kept all these little buildings separate so you can see inside. And then again, you could maybe hide a miniature in there, or you could include that feature in your game somehow. Maybe get some cover as they move through it, something like that. So that could be quite fun. But there we go. So that's the first one. And there's two more little buildings to look at. I nearly forgot the size comparison. So here we go. Here's another member from the Grimwatch. Another one of those little Poxwalkers. And then this time, let's bring on the Iron Golem as a little idea of size there. So that's the kind of nice size build. And again, you're going to get plenty of cover from this. Even the bigger models like this guy is going to be able to hide well behind that, no problem. But just like all the others, there's no like platforms to balance on or climb up or anything like that. Now we're on to this one. This is probably the most simplest of them all in design. Some nice detail on the base there. You see some great tombstones. They look really good. And all the little spikes and everything are great. Again, this one can come off, and we've got a little tomb inside there. So really nice pieces, and they just slot back on. And then size-wise again, let's bring on the Grimwatch again. And then this time, one of the Ungor Raiders. So much smaller those. So they're going to have no problem hiding behind that. So now let's look at the next building. So this is a little bit bigger than the previous one. So there it is again, just to give you an idea. A little bit bigger. And I think this has got some really nice detail. I really like all these roses they've got going on around there. And the little gargoyles perched at the top is really neat. Lots of skulls, as we would like to see and expect. and again on the side there. And this one lifts off. Again, there's another little tomb in there. So a really nice feature. And then we just pop that one on. And then let's get some models to see the size. So we got our Grimwatch. We've got another Poxwalker. And this time, get one of the skeletons in there. These would be featuring in this. I think Nighthaunt would play really well with this terrain for sure in Warcry. But there we go. Now, one more building to look at. And it's not a building, it's a statue. But I think this is a great piece. This is one of my favourites from this whole set. I think it's really awesome. Again, with all those skulls and roses building up. I really like this skeleton statue on top. And then let's have a size comparison. We got the Grimwatch. Another Poxwalker. I can't wait to get these painted up for Rain in Hell. I think they're going to be great. But I'm also doing a little Warcry warband with them. And then here's our Scions of the Flame, K-Knight Shadow Stalkers as well. So you might get a little bit of cover from this. I think you could easily like hide behind that. So yeah, for sure, you could get a little bit of cover there. Again, nowhere to perch or anything like that. But as a centerpiece, I think this is a really nice piece of terrain. I'm really happy with this whole collection. I think this SIGMARITE Mausoleum is a great piece. So there we go, that's all the contents from those 2 issues of the Mortal Realms magazine. I'm so happy with this terrain set. It's going to be great fun for Warcry. I can't wait to involve this in my Beasts of Chaos campaign, but I'm also going to give this a go for the Rain in Hell game that I've recently done a review of the book on. So it'd be great to do a little run through of the game and see how it plays on the tabletop. And I'll use the Grimwatch and these Poxwalkers as a Warcry warband, but I'm also going to use them as a Cabal in that Rain in Hell game. And a little sneak peek if you want to have a look. This is the paint job that I'm working on to get these guys done. Really nice and simple. And this is going to be for a speed paint video. So I'm going to do a video of these. Probably going to paint them tonight and get that video up tomorrow so you can see how fast it is to paint a whole warband or Cabal of Poxwalkers. So look out for that video coming real soon. And tomorrow I'm also heading down the local hobby store to pick up some spray cans so I can get all this terrain based and painted as quick as possible, and then we can get it on the tabletop because it looks like it's going to be great fun to play with. If you like the look of this set and would like to add it to your collection, then you may still be able to get it at Forbidden Planet or Hatchet Puttworks, but it is quite an old issue, so these may have gone, and I think they were pretty popular, so a lot of these would have been bought up. Maybe look on eBay as well if you just wanted to pick up 1 or 2 of the packs just to have this half set like I've got here. But if you do want the full set, you can still buy it, and the RRP is £60, but at Element Games they got it for sale at £51 at the moment, and so I can put a link in the description below for you. So if you want to go and check that out at Element Games, you can save a bit of money and you get twice as much terrain as you see here. So you really would get quite a lot going on. So for a Warcry board, that would totally fill it completely and it would be great fun to play with. So there we are. So I'll put that in the description below, and it'll be affiliate link, but it won't cost you anything extra. In fact, you can save that £9, and for every sale made through a link, I get a small commission, and that helps me do loads of videos like this. So thanks for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. If you like this kind of content and would like to support the channel, then please check out my Patreon page, and thanks to everyone who's joined so far. It's really awesome. We hang out on Discord, talk about the hobby, share ideas and help each other out, and you'll get some perks there that you're not going to find anywhere else. So I'll put a link in the description, and it'll be great to see you there. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that this gave you a good idea of what the SIGMARITE Mausoleum looks like and the kind of size when you compare it to some of the miniatures, and also how it looks on the Warcry board. But I also think this would be perfect for games like Rain in Hell. But thanks so much for watching. Please like if you like it, subscribe for more videos like this, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to join me next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games.